Planning a cruise takes weeks and wasting time on board takes minutes. Most cruisers don't even notice it happening. They join the buffet stampede, wait in mile-long lines at guest services, miss show reservations, and spend half the week staring at elevator doors. That's not a vacation, that's a queue. In this video, I'm calling out the 18 ridiculous time wasters that steal hours from your cruise, and the simple fixes that smart cruisers use instead. No fluff, no generic just relax advice, actual moves that give you your day back. We're talking how to dodge the embarkation day chaos without skipping lunch, when to book shows, dining, and activities so you never hear sold out, the exact times to avoid the worst lines, elevators, dining rooms, tender tickets. All of it. The packing trick that makes day one feel like day three. And the disembark secret that turns a stressful morning into bonus vacation time. I've made some of these mistakes myself. You won't after today. Stick around to the end because the final time waster is the one almost everyone gets wrong, and fixing it changes your last day completely. Ready to get hours of your cruise back? Let's dive in. Number 1. The embarkation buffet stampede. Picture this. You've finally stepped onto the ship. The vacation you've been planning for months is here, and the very first thing you do, you sprint straight to the buffet with 2,000 other people who had the exact same brilliant idea. Congratulations! Your dream cruise has officially turned into a golden corral on a Saturday night. Here's what actually happens. You wait in line for 20 minutes for a tray of fries, some lukewarm pasta, and a mystery meat that's been sitting under a heat lamp since breakfast. Then you wander around like a lost soul trying to find a table. By the time you sit down, you're sweating, balancing 3 plates in your arms, and wondering if this was really worth hundreds of dollars a night. Spoiler, it wasn't. The smarter move? Walk right past the stampede. The main dining room is usually open for lunch on embarkation day, and guess what? No lines. You sit down, a waiter brings you food that's actually hot, and you start your cruise like a civilized human instead of a scavenger at a feeding frenzy. Some ships even have hidden cafes or poolside grills open that first afternoon, and they're practically empty because everyone else is still fighting over the last slice of buffet pizza. So while the masses are battling it out for a table near the soft serve machine, you're sipping iced tea in peace. Already winning at cruise life. Number 2, the guest services line disaster. Nothing says relaxing vacation like standing in a line that moves slower than airport security. Yet on day 1, half the ship races to guest services like it's the hottest nightclub at sea. You'll see them. Sweaty, irritated, clutching paperwork like it's their golden ticket to happiness. And what are they waiting for? To ask about a $12 onboard credit, or to link a credit card. Or worse, to complain that their luggage tag looks slightly crooked. Meanwhile, you're on vacation, and they're 3 cocktails behind because they've decided the best use of their first afternoon is staring at the back of someone else's Hawaiian shirt for 45 minutes. Here's the truth. Unless your cabin is on fire, there is zero reason to visit guest services in those first few hours. They're open 24 hours a day. You can go late at night when everyone else is at the comedy show, or early in the morning when only the gym freaks are awake. Even better, most cruise lines now let you chat with guest services through the app. That means you can fix your problem from a deck chair with a margarita in hand, instead of wasting half your day in line. So here's the rule. Don't be that person in line on day 1. Unless you really want your vacation memories to be about waiting under fluorescent lighting, listening to someone argue about towel colors. Number 3, reservation FOMO. This one's a classic rookie mistake. You board the ship, stroll around thinking, I'll figure out the shows and specialty dining later. No rush. Big mistake. Huge. By the time you finally open the app, guess what? Every decent dining time is gone, the comedy show is waitlist only, and the ice show tickets are vanishing faster than free pizza at midnight. Now you're stuck eating at 9:45 p.m. and watching whatever second-tier lounge act was still available. The smart cruisers? They're already booked. Why? Because they downloaded the cruise line's app at home, logged in at the terminal, and started reserving before half the passengers even found their cabins. Yes, you can usually connect to ship Wi-Fi before boarding is complete. While everyone else is still in line trying to get their embarkation photo, they've locked in their week like cruise ninjas. And it doesn't take much. 5 minutes of planning gets you the best dining slots, the good shows, and even spots in those fitness classes that somehow always sell out. Meanwhile, the I'll wing it crowd is spending their vacation standing in lines, begging for cancellations, and blaming the cruise line for their own lack of planning. So here's the deal. Don't wait. Treat reservations like gold. Book them the second you can. That way, while the procrastinators are sulking about missing the big production show, you'll already be sitting front row with popcorn. Number 4. Elevator gridlock. Elevators on a cruise ship are like a social experiment gone horribly wrong. You press the button, the screen says 2 minutes, and suddenly you've aged 3 years. By the time the doors finally open, it's already full of people who clearly have no intention of ever getting off. And then there's always that one guy who presses every single button just in case. Peak times? Forget it. After dinner, when the show's let out, or on embarkation day, you might as well bring a sleeping bag because you're not moving anytime soon. And heaven help you if you're stuck with the crowd that thinks 6 people in a stroller should all cram in together together with zero personal space. Here's the fix. If it's just 1 or 2 decks, take the stairs. You'll get there faster and even burn off that extra dessert you definitely didn't need, but ate anyway. If you must use the elevator, head to the forward or aft banks, the ones at the far ends of the ship. They're less popular, which means shorter waits and fewer sweaty bodies breathing down your neck. So the choice is yours. Spend half your vacation staring at elevator numbers that don't change, or take the stairs and actually arrive before the next port. Number 5, the we'll figure out port day when we get there. Ah yes, the bold cruisers who step off the ship with zero plan. They're thinking, we'll just see what happens, maybe grab a taxi, maybe a tour, we'll figure it out. Spoiler. What actually happens is 20 minutes of chaos while a small army of taxi drivers, tour guides, and special deals just for you, my friend. Guys shout over each other like an auction house gone wild. By the time they pick something, the good excursions are gone, the clock is ticking, and they're already stressed before they've even left the port gates. Meanwhile, smart cruisers? They did 5 minutes of research at home. They pre-booked the beach shuttle, the catamaran, or the private guide, and they're already halfway to their cocktail while the wing it crowd is still negotiating over whether $80 for a 10-minute taxi ride is a good deal. And here's the kicker. Even if you want to explore solo, at least have a loose plan. Screenshot directions, know which sites are close, and save your meeting point info offline. Because nothing says wasted port day, like standing in the blazing sun, Wi-Fi dead, arguing about where the ship even parked. So here's the rule. Spontaneity is great for ordering dessert, not for an entire port day. Number 6, peak hour, anytime dining. Let's talk about the biggest scam on the ship, my time or anytime dining. It sounds amazing, right? Eat whenever you want. Total freedom. What it really means is, stand in line at 6:30 with 300 other people who all just happened to want dinner at the exact same time as you. Here's how it plays out. You show up hungry, they hand you a buzzer, and suddenly your relaxing evening feels like you're waiting for a table at Olive Garden on prom night. By the time you sit down, the show you wanted to see has already started, and your blood sugar is so low you'd wrestle a child for their breadstick. The fix is simple, right? If you like structure, pick traditional dining. 6 or 8, and at least you know you'll be seated on time. If you want flexibility, that's fine too. Just don't walk in during the dinner rush. Show up early around 5:45 or late after 8, and you'll glide right in while the masses are still buzzing around like angry bees. And if you're really smart, mix it up. Book specialty dining for 1 or 2 nights in advance, and you'll avoid the cattle herd entirely, because nothing says romantic cruise dinner like holding hands in a 45-minute queue while someone's uncle yells about wanting a booth. Number 7, buying packages on board instead of before. Some cruisers love to live dangerously. They think, I'll just wait until I'm on the ship to buy Wi-Fi, excursions, or a drink packet. How bad could it be? Well, let's see. Step 1, you spend your first morning in line at the shore excursion desk with 50 other confused passengers clutching brochures like it's homework. Step 2, you realize the snorkeling tour you actually wanted is already sold out. Step 3, you wait another half hour at the Wi-Fi desk because the included internet only loads emails if you're willing to stare at the spinning wheel for 10 minutes per message. And the cherry on top? Buying on board is almost always more expensive. Yep, you just paid extra for the privilege of wasting your vacation standing in line. Brilliant. The fix is so easy it hurts. Book it before you sail. Excursions, drink packages, Wi-Fi upgrades, all of it. Most cruise lines give discounts if you pre-purchase, and you board the ship ready to relax while the procrastinators are still arguing about megabytes versus gigabytes with a crew member who's definitely over it. So save your time and your sanity. Buy ahead, log in once, and start your cruise with a cocktail by the pool instead of standing in line with Mr. Do I need the premium internet to check Facebook? Number 8, forgetting a day 1 essentials bag. This one gets people every single cruise. You hand your suitcase to the porter at the terminal, skip on board feeling free, and then hours later, you're still waiting for your bags to magically appear at your cabin. And what do you have in the meantime? Absolutely nothing. Cue the awkward parade of new passengers wandering the ship in jeans, sweating buckets because their swimsuit is locked in a suitcase somewhere on deck 2. Or the poor soul trying to get into the pool in full cargo shorts because they didn't pack a change of clothes. Not to mention the ones frantically digging through their partner's purse for headache medicine or sunscreen because, oh right, it's in the checked bag too. The fix? Always bring a day 1 essentials bag. Swimsuit, sunscreen, medications, chargers, and yes, even a backup dinner outfit if you've got early dining. That way you're free to hit the pool, grab a cocktail, or snap those perfect embarkation photos without looking like you just ran a marathon in jeans. Because nothing screams rookie cruiser louder than standing at the sail away party in long pants, sweating and muttering, my bag should be here any minute now. Number 9, overscheduling the whole week. Some cruisers treat their vacation like it's a military operation. They land on the ship with a color-coded itinerary, alarms set for every trivia contest, and a schedule so tight they can't even pee without penciling it in. By day 2, they look less like relaxed passengers and more like exhausted interns trying to impress the boss. Here's the truth. Not every activity is worth your time. You don't need to sprint from line dancing to towel folding demos to bingo to karaoke like your entire cruise experience depends on it. Because while you're running around trying to collect every single event like Pokemon, you're missing the actual point of being on a cruise, slowing down and enjoying yourself. The fix? Pick 2 or 3 must-do things each day. That's it. Leave space for unplanned moments. A surprise nap in a deck chair, a random sunset, or a spontaneous cocktail with new friends. Those are the memories that stick, not the fact that you came in 3rd place at Name That 80s TV theme song. So unless you really want to collapse in your cabin at midnight with sore feet and a binder full of wasted sea day schedules, dial it back. Your vacation isn't an Olympic sport. Number 10, the endless photo line. Cruise photographers are like ninjas. You can't walk 10 feet without one popping out of nowhere. Smile, pose, tilt your head just a little to the left. Before you know it, you've spent 30 minutes standing in line under blinding lights while some poor family debates which arm pose makes them look more natural. And here's the kicker. Most of these photos, you'll never even buy them. They end up as awkward thumbnails on a touchscreen in the photo gallery that you scroll past and mutter, "Oh God, delete that forever." But hey, at least you wasted an hour and missed the sail away party, right? The smarter move? Be selective. Pick 1 or 2 photo ops that actually matter. Formal night or a nice family shot by the grand staircase. For the rest, take your own pictures. Balcony selfies, sunset shots, goofy poolside snaps. Those are the ones you'll actually look at again. Because nothing kills the vibe of a vacation faster than spending your evenings waiting in a fake studio set while a stranger tells you to pretend to laugh naturally. Number 11, ignoring hidden shortcuts. Cruise ships are floating cities, which sounds amazing, until you realize you've just walked a half marathon trying to find the theater. Every new cruiser has that moment where they head to the buffet, only to discover it was literally 1 deck above their cabin the whole time. Congrats. You just wasted 20 minutes and burned more calories than you planned. And let's not forget the elevators. Half the reason they're so slow is because people don't know there are other banks of them. Meanwhile, veterans are zipping across the ship using quiet cabin decks as secret highways, while rookies are stuck in the middle of the promenade, wondering if they'll ever see their cabin again. The fix is simple. Spend 30 minutes on embarkation day learning your ship. Grab the deck plan, explore the main spots, and find those sneaky cut-throughs. Some ships even have hidden stairwells or crew-style passageways that are technically open for passengers. Learn them early and you'll save yourself hours of wandering, because nothing says seasoned cruiser like casually appearing at dinner while your travel buddy is still hopelessly circling deck 6 for the 3rd time. Number 12, being late to the muster drill. Every cruise starts with the same thing, the muster drill. It's quick, it's simple, it's required, and yet somehow every sailing has a few passengers who treat it like optional homework. They wander in late, life jackets half on, looking like they've never followed instructions in their lives. And what happens? Hundreds of people who did show up on time now get to stand around waiting, because Captain, I'll get there when I feel like it, decided the safety drill wasn't a priority. The sail away party? Delayed. The bar service? Delayed. Basically, your whole first afternoon gets pushed back because a handful of people thought they were too cool for a 5-minute briefing. Here's the hack. Do it early, do it fast, and get it over with. Most lines now let you watch the safety video in the app before the drill even starts. Then, you just show up, get checked off, and boom, you're free. The faster everyone checks in, the faster the fun begins. So don't be the reason 4,000 people are waiting on deck while muttering under their breath about that one family. You don't want to be that family. Number 13, cash account drama. Some cruisers insist on cruising the old-fashioned way. No credit card on file, just cold, hard cash. Sounds fine in theory, until you realize this means endless trips to guest services to top up your account. Nothing screams vacation like standing in line to hand someone $50 bills so you can buy a pina colada. And it gets worse. Mid-cruise, you're at the shop, ready to grab that duty-free bottle of rum, swipe your card. Declined. Why? Because you ran out of cash on your onboard account, and now you have to sprint back to guest services like it's a hostage negotiation just to reload another 100. Meanwhile, the people with credit cards on file, they're already 3 cocktails deep, laughing at the comedy show, not waiting behind someone arguing about why their casino chips don't count toward their balance. The smarter move? Link a card before you sail. Monitor your charges in the app or on your stateroom TV. If you don't want to carry a balance, fine. You can always pay it down in chunks during the cruise. But at least you're not wasting your time being that person who treats guest services like an ATM. Because trust me, nobody brags about spending their Caribbean vacation in line to settle a $7 towel charge. Number 14, packing panic on the final night. Ah yes, the last night of the cruise. A perfect sunset. One last dinner, maybe a show, a cocktail by the pool, unless you're the unlucky cruiser who left packing until the last possible second. Then your cabin looks like a luggage explosion. Clothes everywhere, shoes under the bed, random socks you're not even sure are yours, and you're stress folding underwear while your friends are sipping champagne. It happens every sailing. Instead of enjoying their last evening, people are frantically cramming everything into suitcases, arguing over who borrowed the good packing cube, and trying to remember if the cruise line said the bags go outside the door at 9 or 11. Meanwhile, they've completely missed the farewell show and half of Sail Away because they're still deciding if they should roll or fold their t-shirts. The smarter move? Pack early. On the last sea day, take an hour to knock most of it out. Leave a small carry-on or tote with your morning essentials. Toothbrush, clothes for disembark, chargers. Then, when the final evening arrives, you're free. Free to eat, drink, watch the sunset, and actually enjoy your last night instead of wrestling with zippers. Because nobody books a cruise to spend the finale stress packing socks. Number 15. Cashing out casino and onboard credit at the worst time. You'd think people would know better by now, but no. Every single cruise ends with a herd of passengers lined up at the casino cage or guest services on the very last night, clutching casino tickets and leftover onboard credit, like they're redeeming winning lottery slips. The line snakes halfway down the atrium, tempers flare, and suddenly you're spending your final night on board waiting to cash out $17.50 in slot credits. And here's the kicker. Half those people don't even get to cash out in time. Midnight hits, the system closes, and they're left begging a crew member for just one more transaction. Congratulations. You wasted your evening and lost your $25 voucher because you couldn't be bothered to do it earlier. The smarter move? Cash out before the chaos. Hit the cage earlier in the day or even the day before when the line is empty. Same with onboard credit. Use it up before the last night. Buy something, grab snacks, stock up on overpriced sunscreen in the gift shop. Anything. Just don't be in that desperate midnight crowd waving a ticket like Charlie with a golden pass. Because nothing ruins your final cruise memories faster than standing in line watching the clock tick down on your vacation. Number 16. Tender ticket mayhem. If your ship anchors offshore, congratulations. You've unlocked the chaos that is tender boats. Here's how it works. Half the ship decides they must be the very first passengers off. So they line up at 6 a.m. like it's Black Friday at Walmart. They're sweaty, cranky, and clutching tender tickets like backstage passes to Beyoncé. And then they spend the next 2 hours waiting. Meanwhile, the crew is calmly calling groups in order, and all those early risers who swore they were beating the crowd are just standing around in a crowded lounge, burning the very vacation time they thought they were saving. Here's the smarter move. Unless you've got a super early excursion, don't bother with the mad dash. Wait an hour, have a coffee, eat breakfast, maybe even enjoy an empty pool deck. Then walk off the ship stress-free while the early crowd is still glaring at each other in the holding pen. Better yet, if your excursion is booked through the cruise line, you don't even need to worry about it. They'll get you off when it's your turn. Everyone else can keep fighting over tender ticket group 1 like it's a golden ticket to Willy Wonka's factory. Because nothing screams rookie louder than wasting your morning sitting on the floor of a lounge, waiting for a boat that isn't even full yet. Number 17. Dragging bags around instead of using porters. Every cruise terminal has them. Passengers dragging 3 giant suitcases behind them like they're competing in some Olympic luggage marathon. They huff, they puff, they take out at least 3 ankles in the crowd, all because they didn't want to tip the porter $10 to handle it. And it doesn't stop there. They roll those bags onto the ship, block the elevators, and then spend the next 3 hours babysitting their luggage because cabins aren't ready yet. Meanwhile, everyone else is free exploring the ship with a cocktail in hand, while Mr. I don't trust porters is sweating bullets and guarding his Samsonite like it's filled with gold bars. Here's the smarter move. Use the porters. That's literally their job. Your bags magically appear at your cabin later, and you get to start your vacation immediately. If you've got essentials you don't want out of sight, that's what your day bag is for. Swimsuit, sunscreen, meds, phone charger, done. So ask yourself, do you want to spend embarkation day enjoying the pool or hauling luggage like an unpaid bellhop? Yeah, I thought so. Number 18. Rushing off the ship first on disembark day. This one is the grand finale of cruise time wasters. It's the last morning, the vacation's over, and suddenly half the ship thinks they're in some kind of race to the finish line. You'll see them up at 5:30 a.m., bleary-eyed, clutching carry-ons, crammed in stairwells like cattle, all just to be the first off the ship. And where do they go? Straight into another line, a line for customs, a line for taxis, a line for shuttles. Basically, the prize for winning the 6 a.m. sprint is an hour of standing in another line with 3,000 equally grumpy people. Here's the truth. Unless you've got an early flight or a life or death appointment, there is zero advantage to being the first off. In fact, it's the worst time. Everyone's panicked. The terminal is chaos and the stress levels are sky high. The smarter move? Leave last. Have breakfast, sip a coffee, maybe even sneak in a last walk on deck. By the time you stroll off, the lines are gone, customs is empty, and you're gliding out of the terminal like a VIP while the early birds are still fighting each other for the last spot in the Uber queue. Ending your cruise stressed and sweaty is optional. Ending it smooth and relaxed is smart. Always, always leave last. And that's it. 18 ridiculous time wasters every cruiser should avoid. I think you'll find a lot of value in the video on the end screen. as there is still so much to know before your next cruise.